Fine. So today, dear student, today we are going to discuss another topic, that is the inter-servlet communication. So basically, the inter-servlet communications means that the communication between the two servlet, right? So a process where two or more servlet communicates with each other to process the client request, right? So it's supposed to be, we have already discussed about the servlet. Servlet basically the tool where we use in the server side, right? One thing. Second thing, that if suppose client send the request to the server request to the servlet that please handle all the activities, and we already know that in the servlet we have a certain kind of container. Okay, with the help of different numbers of containers, servlet handle all the requests which comes from the client. And one thing more we have discussed in the servlet, that if suppose our request comes with if suppose client send the request with do get method, then servlet call the do get method. If suppose this client send the request with post method, then do servlet execute do post method as well as, right? So this is the basic overview about which we have already discussed in you know in our previous few couple of lectures, that which we have already done, that how servlet can work. But in today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the inter servlet communications. Okay, so in servlet demo, we have already discussed that how a one servlet can communicate with each other. But there is a certain kind of methods and certain kind of keywords which is used to intercommunicate between these two servlets, right? So it is very easy technique. There is no problem at all that which we have used, that how one servlet can communicate with each other. Okay, each other means that some servlet communicate with another servlet, right? So a process where two or more servlet communicate with each other, that is known as inter-servlet communication, right? One thing. Second thing, the servlet can forward the request to another servlet to the process the client request. One thing, while we are going to discuss about the forward the request, it means that if client send the request to the server, server send the request to the servlet, basically, right? And servlet process, basically we are aware about that servlet is basically process the execution, process any kind of any kind of request comes from the client, it can only and only proceed with the help of servlet, right? So servlet, if servlet can forward the request to another servlet, right? One, it means that we have defined one servlet, that is the login servlet, and another servlet, that is the welcome servlet, right? So if user send the request from JSP page, right? So the supposed to be there is a login ID and password. User can do the same in the login ID and password. So what thing happen, that the data moves from the client page to the servlet one, right? That is the login servlet. And after that, if there is a authentication is good, there is no problem at all. Then the servlet one means login servlet send the request to the welcome servlet as well as. So while Is the screen is visible, students?
No, sir.
No. Okay, I think there is a problem. Now it is visible.
No, sir.
Okay, just wait. I just shared with you again. Now I think it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Hello, students.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Pritam.
Pritam. Yes, sir.
Yes, it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Visual.
sir. Visual.
Okay, okay, fine. Okay. So there is network issue. Fine. So the technique, while we are going to discuss about the inter-server communication and there certain kind of techniques. So request dispatcher. One thing is very important. We have two or three more technique that how that we can use for communication between the one servlet to another servlet. But most relevant and most reliable uh, technique is all about the request dispatcher. With the request dispatcher in the servlet, we can communicate between two servlets. The request dispatcher interface provide the facility of dispatching the request to another resource. It may be HTML servlet or JSP. Okay, so it can interface basically request dispatcher is an interface. What it can provide, it can provide the facility of dispatching okay, the request from resources. It may be like HTML or servlet or JSP, any kind of page you want to move. But here our agenda is all about the servlet to servlet communications, right? So this interface can also be used to include the content of another resource also, and it is one of the way to servlet collaboration too, right? So here with the help of request dispatcher interface, we can communicate from one servlet to another servlet. Okay, like if supposed to be you are aware about that how we can communicate from one page to another page. There are two methods defined in the request dispatcher. If suppose we use interface like request dispatcher interface, then we have used multiple methods over there, but two where the two methods are defined over here with the request dispatcher. Methods of request dispatcher interface is all about, one is the forward method and second one is the include method, right? So in the forward method, so if we are going to discuss about the forward method in the servlet request dot request and servlet response dot response, and with the help of throws servlet exceptions dot java io dot exceptions, then forward is a request from servlet to another resource, like if suppose servlet JSP file or HTML file or etc, any kind of, right? And if suppose we discuss about the include method. Okay, so in the include method, include is the content of resources. Your content of resources means like servlet JSP page HTML file in the response, right? So also we can find out that how what is the difference between both of them, what is the main agenda of forward and include method. So see here detailed description is over there about the forward method. If we are going to discuss about the forward method, then the client send the request to servlet one, right? So here you find out that what is the forward method. In the forward method, what thing can happen? Client send the request to the servlet one, and servlet one use the forward method, and it can send the request to the servlet two, right? And servlet two give the response to the generate response is generated, and servlet two directly respond to the client, right? Again, back, right? So this is the technique. this is the basically the technique where we use over here in the forward method. In the forward method, what thing happened, that client send the request, servlet 1 and servlet can forward the request to the servlet 2. But at the end of the point where servlet 2 is response, it's supposed to be client send the request, means that it's suppose there is a login page, right? So here the login page send the request to the servlet 1, but instead of the validation is available in the servlet 1, but at the same time on the behalf of servlet 1 we can dispatch or we can forward this message to the servlet 2, or that is the all about the welcome page, right? So if welcome page respond it back towards the client. Okay, so client showing that welcome, like it's supposed to be welcome the Deepak, then welcome Deepak, right? So what thing happened, that client only see servlet 2, the communication between the client is only directly to the servlet 2, not servlet 1. So this is all about in the form of forward method. Okay, with the use of forward method we can communicate, means client can communicate with directly with the second servlet instead of first servlet. But at the same time client send the request to the servlet 1 at the same time. As you see in the figure, that response of the second servlet is sent to the client, response of the first servlet is not displayed to the user. Okay, so this is very important point over here in the forward method. If we are using forward method, then that thing is important, that if the response of first servlet is not displayed at the user perspective, right? So and the second method is the include method, which is used in the dispatcher, the request dot dispatch interface. So in the try to understand that what thing is happened over here in the include method. So in the include method, client send the request to the servlet 1, right? So here the servlet 1 is there, and it can communicate directly with the help of include method. It can communicate to servlet 2, but at the same time, servlet 2 respond it back to the servlet 1. Response to servlet 2 include in the servlet 1, and then after that finally respond servlet 1 to directly to the client, right? So final response is sent back to the client with the help of servlet 1. So as you see in the above figure, response of second servlet is not included in the response of first servlet that is being sent to the client, right? So instead of that, client can come the response of servlet 2 to the directly to the client, instead of this servlet 2 communicate with servlet 1, right? So in the include method, you remember that so only this servlet communicate between the each other, right? And then finally it can respond while we are requesting to the servlet 1, then it can respond it back to the servlet 1, right? So this is the certain kind of difference between the forward method and include method, which is used in the request dispatcher. So if suppose the get request dispatcher method of servlet request interface return of the object request dispatcher, like that, and many more, we have a certain kind of example over here, and we are going to discuss with the example that we have a index.html file and login.java file and welcome servlet.java file is there. Okay, so we have a three files. One is the view file, that is the index, which client can easily understand, right? Not only understand, visible to the client. So here there is a index.html page is over there, and with the help of name and password, it can send the request to the servlet. Okay, right. So now there is a login page. Okay, validate servlet is over there. Condition is true. Then if is valid, no, then include HTML file. Sorry, username and password is error. If yes is validate, means that if given password, username and password is correct, then yes, forward to the welcome servlet. Right. So this is thing that can happen in within this login page. So with the help of this login page, we can give the conditions, right? So we are going to discuss about if else conditions for the validate login name and password as well as, right. So main thing that we are communicating with one login with one servlet to another servlet, right. So here there is a login servlet is over there, and this login page, this login page is communicate with what, with uh, another servlet, welcome servlet page as well as, because we are aware about that if suppose we are going to discuss about the servlet, then servlet can communicate user views as well as server views as well as, right. So it means that it can also handle the request as well as response. So servlet have both functionalities. It can handle request as well as response. So it can handle the request that comes from the client, and it can process the request, and it can respond to the another defined page. If supposed to be you are defined that for request move forward to the another page, that is the welcome servlet, then it can move on the welcome servlet page over there. Okay, so we have a program that is the form. We have created form action servlet one. We can move on the servlet one method post. There is a do go post method, not get method is over there. So it means that in the servlet we can write our code in the do post method, and we have only considered here there is a username and password, and with the help of login submit button we have submitted to the servlet, and we have created another page that is the login .java servlet page over here, and with the help of do post method. Okay, so we have sent the request with the help of post method. So we have write a code inside the do post method, and inside the do post method what thing we have write, we have get to we have created string n and p. N is the name of the person and p is the password, right. So n and p request.get parameter, with the help of username and user password we can retrieve data from this page to this page, and we can check that if equals servlet, p dot equals is equal to servlet, then it can move on the servlet too, right. Otherwise else username and password is not error, and it can move again back to the where in the index.html, again it can move on the index.html. It can show display the result, and then it move or where it can move on the index.html. Main thing of our today's agenda is all about to use the request dispatcher interface, and request with the help of request dispatcher method interface, we can communicate from one servlet to another servlet. This is the main agenda of our topic, right. So don't worry about that. We have a create one page like JSP page or an HTML page, and in this second page we have only create two one thing, and we can compare which we have already done in this flow chart. We find that we can validate. If validate means if we check the condition, if condition is false, then it move again in the login page. If condition is true, then it move on the welcome page. So here the same logic we have applied over here, that if password is like a servlet, right, so it can move on the servlet 2. Okay, so servlet 2 is basically nothing but it is a welcome page, right. If it's not match, means there is some problem, then move again back into the index.html like that. Okay, so this is the index.html. Okay, so this is index.html with the use of this page. And in if suppose we can send the request from login page with this request dot dispatcher dot we can create object of rd. Okay, so rd basically nothing but it's the object, because we can use the object to forward the request. Okay, so here we can forward the request with the help of certain kind of object which is we have created. Else we can include that if include what we have include, that if supposed to be there is a problem in this page, then what thing happen, then this same page respond back to the index.html, right. It is very much clear over here that if we are using forward, then we can send the request to forward another servlet. If we have used the include, then it can respond it back to the again back to the like that. Okay, so here we find out that what is the difference between index and forwarded. So here the forwarded from one servlet to another servlet, and in include we see that it can communicate validate over there. If it is wrong, then it can communicate again, it can communicate back to the client. So very much clear. I think there is code is very easy. And in the second page, like welcome servlet.java, here we are just display the request which is comes from the servlet one. So we have just get the parameter with the help of certain kind of get the parameter of username. We can display the username which comes from n. Okay, so n we have already discussed in the string in previous page. So we can easily fetch the data which is comes in this whole scenario, that if supposed to be somebody the name of user is like Deepak or like Preetham, so it can display the name over here. Okay, so simple code is over there. In the welcome page we can just display the message of user, particular user who can log in over there. So here you see that web.xml file is also very very helpful tool to pattern mapping all this. So if supposed to be you are create a login page, then you can use the servlet name, that is login, and class, that is the login, and servlet name. The second is the welcome, and servlet class is also you can define the welcome, right? So and in the mapping content we have using servlet mapping login and servlet one. Okay, and another is servlet welcome servlet and servlet two, like that, right? So this is all about what? This is all about the servlet servlet communication between them. Okay, so now after that we have a certain MCQs also for it is very relevant with servlet too. So first of all, we will cover all those, and then after that I will take your questions, right? So which of the true about the servlet? There is a certain statements is over there all about the servlet. So which of the following is the true about the servlet? So option A is equal to servlet execute within the address space of web server. Sorry. The second, servlet are platform independent because they are written in Java. Okay, fine. The full functionality of Java class libraries is available through a servlet. All of the above. So what is the right answer? Yes. Anybody? Yes, Preetham and other. Yes, what is the right answer of this question? Yes, Preetham, I am audible to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is the right answer?
Sir, I think B.
Okay, so check D is the right answer because all the parameters are fulfilled. Okay, second one. What is the Java X dot servlet dot HTTP HTTP servlet? Basically, what is it? It is interface. It is abstract class, concrete class. None of the above. Yes,
Interface.
interface. Okay, so now it is abstract class basically. Is an abstract class. Which of the following code is used to get name of the attributes in servlet?
Sir,
Which
response
of the
dot
following
get.
code is get name?
So
Yes.
response get name.
Okay, B is the right answer. Request dot get attribute name, return a information containing name of the attributes available in this request. So B is the right answer. Request dot get attribute name. Okay, to get name we can use the get attribute. Request dot get. Next one. Which of the following code retrieves the MIME types of body of the request? So I think we are not discuss about there. So B is the right one answer. Request dot get content type. Okay, so request dot get content type is the right answer. of MIME type of body of the request of the null and all, right? So follow which of the following code indicates whether the name response header has already been set? Yes, which of the following code indicates? Okay, Anamika, I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. There is network issue again. Connection issues. Okay, so where we are now, what is the right answer? Which of the following below history? B is the right, the right answer because history is not involved in all those activities which we have done. Uh, which of the following is the stored at client side? URL, rewriting, hidden form field, SSL session, and cookies. Okay, so D is the right answer because cookies is stored to client side, right? So cookies manipulation is done using which property? Cookies manipulate, modify. So A is the right answer, cookie. Uh, which of the following explain cookies in nature? Non-volatile, volatile, transparent, transient, and transient. So there is a D. Cookies are transient by default. Which attribute is used to extend the lifetime of a cookie? Okay, max age. C is the right answer. If you want to cookies to last beyond the single browsing and all, then it can use. Okay, so this is all about what? This is all about the certain MCQs of what all about the uh, inter relation intercommunication between the